Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet.
Chris, how are you? Great to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, I want to, in the short period of time we have here, Brock Purdy's brother is the starting quarterback at Nevada. What do you see in him, especially considering at least he's had stops in Power 4?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a really good athlete. He was not the starter last year, but Nevada used him at wide receiver, running back. They did get him some trick plays where he threw the ball. I think the big knock on Chubba in his sixth year at college after 2 years at Florida State, 2 at Nebraska, now 2 at Nevada, are A, health. He's got a lot of injuries, a broken ankle, broken collarbone, double groin surgery, shoulder soreness that kind of knocked him out last year. And B, can you execute a passing game? I think this is a guy who's an elite athlete who can get a lot of yards, scripted and unscripted, with his legs. He started 6 college games. He's 0-6, and his teams have averaged 13 points per game. So can he get the ball down the field consistently? We've seen it more in fall practice. For the first time in his career, he is the guy. This is his offense, and it's being cultivated around his skill set. So I think there's a lot of talent there. Certainly got the bloodlines as well, and he's looking at this as kind of that one opportunity to make sure his college career, kind of goes how he expected it to go when he entered college 6 years ago.
I mean, he may not be big in stature, but Bellin's a heck of a. I mean, I think he's a really good receiver, and he's terrific in the punt return game. What's your thought on what the role he can play for Nevada as the season, not just Saturday, but for the season?
Yeah, 5'7", so he's your slot guy, right? He's a really cool story. He's from Truckee, California, which actually plays high school football in the Nevada area because it's only about 40 miles away. He had to go to Southern Utah and then a community college and then UTEP and then Nevada. And last year at 6 in college was really that breakout year. He showed he could be a starting level wide receiver, and he is very slippery. He's a guy, if you get him the ball in space, he's going to make some damage, whether it's the punt game, whether it's, as a wide receiver. So, he's a kind of what this offense wants to look like. I don't think they have kind of the skill set at wide receiver and the height to go down the field all that often. So it's going to be a quick pass game. It's going to get your guys out in space and hope that they can make a play. Now, that's more difficult to do against Penn State's athletes than athletes in the Mountain West. But, Marcus is a fan favorite here because of his local roots and, kind of showed that perseverance last year really paid off as he was able to show that he does belong at the FBS level and he can make some plays when you give him the ball.
Well, Nate Burleson has 2 guys on the team. One's a wideout that carries his name. Also very slight as well. Does he get a role in Saturday's game?
Yeah, listed as a starter on the depth chart. So 6'2" ish, more of a basketball body, like 160 pounds. So probably Nevada's fastest wide receiver. If he's out there, he's probably going down the field. This is his 3rd season. He hasn't necessarily blossomed yet, but as you mentioned, his dad was a great player at Nevada and played the league for more than a decade. Nehemiah, he's an edge rusher. He's more of a real football body. Didn't play as a true freshman last year. Probably still too far down on the depth chart to see any significant playing time, at least in this season opener, maybe as he goes along and develops. But, both of their parents are in the Wolfpack Hall of Fame. Their mother, Atoya, was a great track and field athlete as well. They had a couple of uncles who played basketball for the Nevada Wolfpack. So they're definitely tied in to Silver and Blue, the Nevada family. And, it's just cool to see that lineage continue. And I know both those guys want to make their own name. I think Nate, the second, a lot closer to being able to do that.
How much can Purdy and his legs help Turner with his legs in the backfield?
Yeah, you mentioned Herschel Turner. He's a transfer from Utah State. He played as a true freshman last year. High school senior, more than 3,100 rushing yards, 42 touchdowns, 67 tackles, 6 forced fumbles in the California Bay Area. So he was an elite athlete. Again, he's a little bit undersized, 5'9", 197 pounds, right. But it's going to be his first time really being a lead back at the college level. I think those two together are going to be really dynamic, especially as they get into more like competition. I think that has to be Nevada's MO on offense. Jeff Choate, the head coach, he wants to run the ball 60% of the time. He wants to utilize his quarterback's legs. Nevada's quarterback last year, Brennan Lewis, now at Memphis, led the team in rushing. You look at Jeff Choate's 4 years at Montana State. His quarterback led the team in rushing in 2 of those years. Mm-hmm. So that is extremely important in the kind of offense they're trying to run here.
Defensively, they really struggled last year. Let's be blunt about it. That's where the changes have really happened. There's 54 transfers on this team. What's Jeff's thought on at least what he sees from his defense fundamentally into the preseason?
Yeah, he sees more discipline, and I think that was the issue last year. Nevada had some talented guys, some former Power 4 guys, some former 4-star recruit guys, and they just weren't the level of discipline that he wanted in his program. So while they made some plays, they also allowed the other team to make a lot of plays. And Nevada was not a havoc defense last year. Only 14 sacks in 13 games. Took until week 8 to even force their first fumble. So I think the pass rush was just a huge liability. I think the secondary actually played pretty well. So getting more out of that pass rush is going to be the key entering this season. As you mentioned, just 1 returner back on defense, only 3 back on offense. But Jeff Choate did say in fall camp, the fact they only bring back 1 returning starter on defense, probably not a bad thing based on how they played last season. Obviously, in this game, it's going to become, can you physically handle 2 great running backs and a really good offensive line? Nevada has played a couple of Big Ten teams in recent years. Yep. Lost 27-0 against Iowa in 2022, and then 27-0 against Minnesota last year. So the defense has kind of been okay. They just haven't put any points on the board in their last 2 games against Big Ten opponents. And obviously, this is a much better Big Ten opponent than an Iowa or a Minnesota.
Finally, what does it mean to them? They've played in these places before, and they've played in big-time atmospheres before as a program. Quickly, what does this atmosphere in this game mean to them coming up?
It means $1.45 million, which is really
nice. I know
that. That's why the game is being played. But this is going to be the largest crowd Nevada's ever played in front of. Previous high was 102,000 at Texas A&M in 2015. They played at USC a couple of years ago. So for Jeff Choate, it's just a great opportunity for his players to go out there and see what major college football is like, see how you can stack up against an elite program, and see if you can make this thing interesting in the second half. They did take 2 college football playoff teams down to the wire last year. 5-point loss to SMU, touchdown loss to Boise State. Penn State's obviously better than those 2 teams. They beat them in the college football playoff, but they were able to drag those teams into deep water, and that's the whole goal. Make this thing interesting around halftime and see what happens from there.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Half hour brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com and News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.